Love Return in Rain. Chapter 5. Sachu couldn't sleep that night. His mind was racing with everything that had happened. Seeing Sindhu again, knowing she didn't love the man she was supposed to marry, but still feeling stuck in that life. It tore at him. He couldn't just walk away, not after everything that had happened. He had to do something. The next morning, he stood outside Sindhu's home, a bouquet of yellow lilies in his hands. They were her favorite flowers, the ones she always talked about when they were together. He didn't know if she would accept them or if she even wanted to see him again, but he had to try. When she opened the door and saw him standing there, her eyes widened in surprise. Sachu, what are you doing there? She asked, her voice soft but filled with confusions. He held out the flowers, offering them with a smile. I'm here to remind you of something, he said gently. Love isn't about what your family wants or what's expected of you. It's about choosing what makes you happy, even if it's hard. Sindhu hesitated, her eyes flicking to the man standing behind her, her fiancé. She looked torn, unsure I didn't love him. She whispered, her voice shaky. Sachu took a step closer. Then why stay with him? He asked, his voice filled with quiet hope. You deserve to be with someone who makes your heart feel alive, someone who truly cares for you. She looked away as if she didn't know how to answer. But my family? She trailed off, her voice breaking. I'll talk to them, he said quickly, without hesitation. I'll do whatever it takes to show them that I'm serious about you, that we deserve to be happy together. Tears filled her eyes as she looked up at him. She wanted to believe him. He could see it in her eyes. But she was scared of what her family would say, scared of what it would mean for her future. The door creaked open slightly as her father stepped into the room. His face was stern, his eyes cold. Sachu, I don't think you understand, he said firmly. This is not just about you and Sindhu. This is about family, about tradition. We cannot just ignore that. But Sachu didn't back down. I respect your family. But love isn't about tradition, it's about choosing each other. I want to prove to you that I can take care of Sindhu, that I'll always be there for her. Her father looked at him for a long moment and then surprisingly he softened. If Sindhu is truly happy with you, then we will not stand in your way, he said quietly. Though the disappointment was clear in his eyes, Sindhu's mother spoke up, her voice softer. If this is what you want, baby, then we can't stop you. But remember, love is more than just a feeling, it's a choice and it's a responsibility. Listening to those words, Sachu nodded, his heart swelling with hope. I understand, he said, smiling. And I promise I'll always be there for her. That evening, Sindhu and Sachu met at the beach. the place where everything had begun. The rain had started to fall, but it didn't matter. Nothing else mattered except the two of them. Are you sure about this? Sindhu asked, her voice trembling as she looked at him. I'm sure, Suchu replied, his eyes steady. I'll fight for us, for our love. As the rain soaked them both, they stood together, ready to face whatever comes next. Together. A story by Shri. So, in my perspective about the story, is that in a world that often tries to decide who we should be with, right? Sometimes the hardest and the most beautiful thing we can do is choose love even when it's uncertain. True love is always about making a choice, even when the world tells you otherwise. This is my catch and takeaway for this story for you people. I hope you liked the story Love Return in Rain. As I have written this story a very long back, I hope this may be or may not be connected. I hope I could write even more catchy stories for you. Stay tuned in Things and Thoughts, where we can see all these kind of twists and turns where you might have not even been, right? So do rate us, follow us on Spotify and also on Instagram, things dot thoughts 24, where you can give your feedbacks, criticisms, and do rate us on Spotify, where we are already available. And the people who don't have Spotify and Apple Podcast can obviously see us in YouTube too. So we are all over the place. And thank you for the love and support for making me courageous to say a story which I have written 6 to 7 years back. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.